we knew Ferrari in qualifying in particular would be very strong, and that's proved to be the case. We've perhaps compromised qualifying slightly to hopefully give the drivers a better race car for tomorrow. So we'll see if that trade pays off, but I'm reasonably satisfied with that.
Well, we saw Max able to get through the field quite quickly in Spa. This track last year, however, only had 19 overtaking maneuvers in the whole race. So from the data you've collected with the new set of regulations, are the cars able to follow better here this year, and do you think we'll see more overtaking?
I think it's still tricky to overtake here. I mean, Spa is for sure the easiest circuit to overtake on, but I think that with these new cars, you should be able to follow closer through the Lesmos. I think the Parabolica, the final turn, you should theoretically be able to run a bit closer, and that should get you into an overtaking position. But we'll see. It's certainly not going to be straightforward.
Christian, you got the issue of the taking engine penalties, and it can be quite confusing trying to work out the grid. But I mean, this is you've chosen wisely to do it here. Do you think that you did it knowing that Ferrari couldn't take an engine? They kind of are obliged to put on a great show here for the fans.
Yeah, well, I think, look, strategically we've just taken it in the best place we can for the last sector of the championship, and the recommendation was get another engine for both drivers in the pool, and you don't want to take it in Singapore. Japan is tough to overtake at. The next probably opportunity would probably be Austin. That was the reasoning why probably so many cars have elected to take penalties here. So we knew that was going to be the case, and I think that we've got a good race car, and hopefully we can make some good progress from there.
Christian, what's the solution to these engine penalties? I'm not sure anybody's a massive fan of having, half the grid has got them this weekend. Martin suggesting in commentary perhaps, a percentage of your constructors' points taken away if you're bringing extra elements on top of the allocation. But, is that a decent idea? What would you be lobbying for?
But then it's always going to be hard to find a solution. The only thing I would say for tomorrow is that you've got a different grid. You've got a bit of a mixed up grid, and that could produce a really exciting race. If you take it out of constructors, if you've got a sensible constructors lead, you just keep taking engines. So there's never going to be a perfect, perfect scenario to this. Maybe 3 engines for 22 races feels a bit, shy. We're taking 4th and 5th engines on a world tour anyway. Why not use them? So I just think 3 is perhaps a little shy for what's demanded from them.
Now, Christian, we managed to speak to you yesterday, and you mentioned that you are running 2 different floors on your 2 cars, but that you described it to be an insignificant difference. However, today the gap between Max and Checo is enormous, I would say. How much does that come down to the floors versus your compromised setup for race setup?
Well, I think obviously we're focusing heavily on the race setup, and Checo is taking 10 places to Max's 5. It's his first penalty this year, so the difference is what it is. It was still quick enough for Checo to be P4. The difference certainly isn't the floor, but I think, when all things considered, we think he'll be starting from 13th on the grid, and I think he can have a very good race from there.
Typically a one-stop here. Given Ferrari's tactical hiccups, you must be quite confident, even when you've got a grid penalty.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever be too confident. I think that last weekend turned out to be a 3-stop and even 4-stop in some scenarios. But I think you've just got to be flexible. And we've taken maybe we've been greedy. We've taken 2 sets of new softs into the race, as has Ferrari, and it'll be fascinating to see how that plays out. You never know if you're going to get a red flag or
you think
have a restart, win? But. To win from here with the pace of, theoretically Charles is in the pound seat, but we don't write anything off. If we can get onto the podium from P7, that would be damage limitation taking into account the penalty.
Thanks very much, Christian. Appreciate it.